everybody, and welcome to our kitchen here in Beverly Hills. And joining us today is our new interim fire chief, Mr. Ralph Mundell. It is such a joy to have you here because, you know, firemen can cook. It is not a myth. I've tasted the food at this fire station, and I will put it up against any of the fanciest Beverly Hills restaurants. I am telling you, these guys are great, and he has agreed to come here today. And you're going to, what are you going to be making for us?
Chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, and corn.
Oh, good. So this is one of our diet recipes here in Beverly Hills. This is how all these women stay in a size 0 here.
I don't think so. Not with this one.
That's okay. I tell you, it's worth it. Sometimes it's just worth it. So what should we do to start?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is look at the ingredients that we're going to need. We need some Italian style breadcrumbs, a little bit of flour, a couple of eggs, some cube steak from any market, okay, and then obviously some potatoes. I chose golden potatoes today, but they don't have Yukon Gold potatoes today. And then I like the petite white corn. And so that's kind of the core ingredients. What I'll do usually first is I take and I mix together the ingredients for the covering for the chicken fried steak. Okay. I have some flour. So this is the Italian breadcrumbs. And then a little bit of flour.
Now you don't really measure, you kind of eyeball it, right?
No, and so I'm cutting this down today for a meal for 1 or 2. Usually it's 17.
Okay,
so I might have a little bit more left over than I'd like, but.
Okay, so you know, you kind of, you know, when you prepare this at home that you're not preparing it for 17, or you may be, but you know, just keep in mind this is a recipe for a lot of people, but we're cutting it down a little today.
Some little bit of garlic powder, not a lot, but just give it a little bit of a kick, and then some ground pepper. Mm-hmm.
And you know, what's so nice is that, you know, the firemen, every year, they make a Thanksgiving dinner for the seniors here in Beverly Hills. And how did that start, that tradition?
Art and Harvey decided that they want to show their appreciation to the seniors. So they began hosting a Thanksgiving lunch. And now we provide meals for all the seniors. And it's still the Monday before Thanksgiving, but it's a full Thanksgiving feast. It's carved turkey at the senior center, and this year it's going to be at the fire station. I know you were going to mention that, but
no, it's fine.
I beat you to it.
I'm glad you did.
And so it's going to be hosted at the fire station, and it's, you know, we have them carve the turkey there, and they bring in the potatoes, and then we provide usually carrot cake or some sort of dressing, and the firefighters get to serve the seniors.
And it is so much fun, and the seniors love it. It is a really nice occasion here in Beverly Hills. And by the way, you added a little parsley. Was that parsley?
I did. Just a
while we
little
were
bit of
talking, a little bit for color, and give it a little bit of a fresh taste from an herb. And now you're doing eggs.
A couple of eggs to give it some ability to stick to the meat itself.
Right.
And then I usually throw a little milk in here ultimately, but let me
beat it first.
Yeah, so just
use a little whisk and beat it up. Take your
no
eggs.
big deal. And then just a touch of milk. And the reason for the milk for me is that it makes that egg go a little bit further. And usually it's a dozen eggs at the fire station.
Okay.
So here we're using 2, and that's ultimately what it looks like.
Okay.
And then I'll take the meat. And
now, by the way, do you keep it in the refrigerator? Can you put this in the refrigerator the way it is right now and fry it up later?
I've never done it that way. Okay. Now if we get a call in the middle of this, then everything goes in the refrigerator.
Sure.
But what we try to do is get it so that we get it in the batter and then move it to the dry and then get it mixed in. Now, if I should get a call right now, it's all going in the refrigerator. Fortunately, in the last 27 years, that hasn't happened.
Okay.
So it'll probably happen the next time I cook. Thanks to you for asking.
It's my fault. You can blame me. Tell the guys it's my fault. But you know, the funny thing is the response time in Beverly Hills is amazing. I mean, what is it, 4 minutes now?
Yeah, that's
4 minutes if you call the fire department. 4 minutes, they are there, or less. I've seen less, but it depends on, you know, your proximity. Okay, so now you have their 2 pieces all breaded,
And take a little bit of oil. Now, this was at the station, vegetable oil. Again, probably not the most healthy thing for you. So once I get the oil in there, get it heated up so that it's ready to go. And the way I figure out whether it's heated or not is I just take a pinch, and when it bubbles up, then it's ready to go.
So you wait till the oil is heated before you put it
Yes,
in.
it's
That's
gotta be
important.
heated.
Right, okay.
And from there, it's just take the meat right out of the container here, right into the skillet, and it'll start cooking it. Now, I will brown the outside, and then once that piece is browned on the outside, then I'll take it and I will put it in the oven.
Okay.
And let it cook the rest of the way through, because it's really temperamental when you're cooking in oil. When there's something that's battered, it will burn on the outside and not be done on the inside. So I get the outside nice and brown, and then I turn my oven on about 250 degrees.
250.
And put it all in there, and then let it sit for about a half an hour. And then when half an hour's up, it's great.
And then now you serve it with the mashed potatoes, you say.
And today I just bought these gold potatoes, just some small ones.
Yukon Golds.
I left the skin on.
Do you do that
for
often?
today. It depends on how much time I have.
Okay.
Usually this is about a 2-hour event for me for dinner.
Okay.
So if I have time, if I can get started about 3:30 or so, because we eat at 6.
Okay.
We eat lunch at 12 and we eat dinner at 6 regardless. I mean, that's the schedule. So these I didn't peel today, but you can peel them if you so choose. And then just into pot. Let them cook up, boil them up, and then mash them. I put a little bit of milk and a little bit of butter, and then sometimes I'll throw sour cream in there.
Also, now how do you make the gravy? That's important. This is the best part of the meal. Right here, you got the gravy going on.
Once the meat is cooked through and I'm done with the entire, all the pieces of meat, I will let it cool down a little bit. Drain the oil off, but I'll leave all of the dry that's in there. So now it's absorbed with a little bit of oil, but I pour as much oil off as I possibly can.
Okay.
Then I heat it back up, pour some milk into the skillet, let that warm a little bit, and then I thicken it up with the remainder of this stuff here. The breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Right. And then I just get it as thick as it needs to be and just keep stirring it in the skillet, and then put the skillet out, and we're good to go.
And that's your gravy.
That's it.
And you know what's so nice, we didn't talk about this, but we're in Greystone today, you know,
Yes.
which is really a fabulous historic mansion here in Beverly Hills. And it's just, they're restoring it so much. Every year, a little something is done to bring it up to code. And of course, they have the design show every November. So we're really excited to be here at Greystone and shooting the show here. It's really a delightful place to be.
Well, it's certainly my pleasure to be here today. Thank you for inviting
I
me.
can't tell you how much we appreciate your taking time out. I mean, the man is busy saving lives, putting out fires, but he came here to show us how to make this, chicken fried steak. And you know what we should do? We should do a magic of television moment now, because we have all of this, but if we turn around, just magically what will appear is a finished dish, and you can see how it looks when it's all finished. And that is one hearty meal, which of course firemen need. They are saving lives, and this is a great meal, I can imagine, for you guys.
You know, it gives us our caloric intake that we need. I put a little bit of...
Or for a day.
Yeah, well, it depends, It depends what the day consists of.
Sure.
So if it's a really busy day, then it's probably right about where we need to be. If it's not a busy day, then we're way over the top. I put a little bit of tomato salsa on the top of the meat. You can also put the gravy on top of the meat, either way. And I don't add salt to anything, because I think everything has enough salt in it. I know some people like to salt the potatoes after they're boiled and before they mash them. I don't do that. I let people season it to taste.
I know you're so busy, and I cannot thank you enough for coming here and giving us this recipe. You guys are amazing. And I thank all of you for joining us today. We have such a nice audience who comes to see us, and happy eating to all of you. And please come and see us again next time.